Kevin and myself have been looking at different companies and different resources to improve on the Century 21 Millennium website. We stumbled upon Kent. He himself is a real estate agent in a small town called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And he's actually a top performer there, but he has a really strong background in web development, programming, but it's not like he's just all nerd. He's just a little nerd. But he uses the product and the software to get business, to bring users to his or clients to his website, to transfer those clients and visitors to his websites into his sphere of influence and his flow and his marketing programming. And so we came across Kent. He showed us everything that he can do with the website. And Kevin was like, "Oh, Chad, we gotta do this." I'm like, "Oh, it is. It's good. It's good. It's good." So we invested some pretty big money. Kent is not cheap. Nothing cheap about him. But he has and continues to deliver a great product, which more importantly allows us to provide similar sorts of benefits to our agents as well too. I don't want to steal the show for Kent and his presentation. He's going to walk us through. But again, guys, Kent's a real estate agent. He's a top performer within his brokerage, and he's organized a business that can actually achieve your goals through your website. Some of you have been using autonomous websites in the past, and some of you have just been using Century 21s. The reason an autonomous site is being used is to bring is for you to spend money using search engine optimization and investments through Google AdWords or whichever it is to bring leads into your business. Kent's like, you don't need to have an autonomous site. You can keep your Century 21 site, which is free or included in your fees, the Century 21, and get the same return, if not better, because it's now integrated with all your backend CRM systems. So, Ken, is that enough of an intro for you?
That sounds great. That's perfect.
Brother, I'm going to give you control as a presenter, and I'm going to let you drive the boat, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good. So as Trevor said, I'm an agent in Saskatoon. I've been with Century 21 since 2010. Really started focusing on my digital presence in about 2017 as an agent, and I work really closely with our broker Gary Bush on working on our brokerage website, which has exploded over the last few years. The reason we went that way is we were just like everyone else. Like we thought, we were paying Boomtown $4,000 a month for lead gen. We were paying Commissions Inc. $4,000 a month for lead gen for agents. And when he let me take the reins of seeing like exactly what they were doing, it almost became, I don't want to say laughable, but just how they keep the blinds closed on like what's on the other side, like what are we seeing? And so we started building those features into our own website and utilizing those features and building, adding content and really figuring out a structure of what works, because, I'm a realtor first. I was never trained originally as, with a tech background, but I have worked with Benchmetrics, which is the company that I'm now working with on these website upgrades as a client. At first, we helped them beta test their comparative analytics software, which is the root of all of this. And it's something that we're going to offer to all of you for free, is the analytics software to show you how you rank against your peers anonymously. So we're working with corporate to be able to install that in everyone's websites. It's what helped build me or direct my efforts, I guess, on what I'm doing. Because it shows me, with my web traffic, how do I relate to, other agents in Saskatchewan, other agents in Canada? And it's allowed me to show, put context into my performance. Because, you can look at Google Analytics and it's an insane, the amount of things in there, makes your head spin. So we've actually developed a proprietary software that pulls Google Analytics, simplifies it, and actually shows you how you do against other peers that have opted in at a brokerage level and at an agent level. So that's the basis of our company and how we took all this data to develop the website upgrades we've done for the Century 21 Canada websites. And we're taking all the best learnings, right? Like I'm not some guy phoning you from California saying, I'm going to get you ranked number one on Google, pay me $1,000 a month. We all get those calls. I mean, and they're all guys that were never realtors. They had no experience. They're tech guys that think, hey, this is cool. We can get in this industry. They make piles of money, all of them. So they no problem. They're going to spend money with us. But we wanted to make it affordable for our agents. We have almost 100 agents in our brokerage, and give them all the tools that anyone else has. So when the new MoxieWorks websites came out, it was really cool because where to live, it was just, you plugged in bricks. REW did not play well with custom code. So having a WordPress website pretty much gives you the ability to do anything you want, as long as you have a programmer coder that knows what they're doing, can take your idea and run with it. And that's what we have at Benchmetrics. We have 3 professional WordPress coders that, whenever a broker, owner, agent, or myself are like, hey, this would be a cool idea, we just get them to figure it out, right? So with our new corporate websites, anything is realistically possible. This is like, you don't need a third-party website. You don't need to pay these lead gen companies. We've figured out how to build all these different features right into your site. So I'm going to share my screen and show you. Let's start with your site at a brokerage level. So, I think this is such a beautiful, sleek, modern site. I love the vision of Kevin and Trevor of wanting to be able to focus and route between offices so that from an SEO perspective, it benefits everybody in the brokerage. It's not just, your standard landing page and a user doesn't know where to go. So for me, as someone who's not from there, but I want to move to your area, I'm like, okay, like Thornbury, I heard of that place. And now we're focusing on the main areas in Thornbury and all the different neighborhoods, things like that, because that's the start of the funnel. You want to start top end down with the city, town, go to neighborhoods, price ranges, similar communities, things like that. And that's what we've developed here, is a very, I want to say, very user-friendly website. Because when you go to, no matter what it is, if it's a My Real page, an agent locator, you end up with just this search bar, and that's all you get. As a user, if I'm not know exactly what I want, I'm going to leave your website. So that's why we customize these searches so that you can, the work's already done. You're doing the work for them. We have a really detailed intake form if you work with us. So we specify, like, these aren't standard. If you don't do single family homes, if you don't do condos, if you only do multi-family, things like that, this is all customizable. If you don't work in these communities, we change that out for you. Even simple things like the word listings. The standard website comes out saying find a home. Because we're working with brokerages all over Canada using this platform, we even track the analytics of that. So we found that just using the word listings instead of find a home is 12% more likely someone's going to click that and look at homes instead of leaving your website. So there's a really data-driven side to this, and not a, hey, I'm promising you this without any reason for it. So we've developed at an agent level these very, unique templates, because right now, there's 10,000 agent websites, very similar, which are great sites, very customizable. But if you don't have the time, or you just want to make it unique, we have these really cool templates. We have a few more actually coming out that you can choose from. And then the next step is we've built these internal page templates. So if you're not an SEO specialist, or you have an assistant, or you don't have the budget, or you're new to the industry, these are super easy to duplicate and just change out the written text to whatever you want. If you want this to be luxury homes, or something unique to your market, or a neighborhood, like this is a neighborhood in Saskatoon, Kensington, it's structured to follow how Google crawls your page. So your H1 headers, so your titles, your keywords. So we're really simplifying it for you, so you don't need to go spend thousands of dollars. You still can. If you have somebody, a staff member, if you have something like that, they don't have to have that specialization. We've done that step for you. So from a cosmetic and SEO perspective, those are two of the main things we started out with. But then what's the purpose of a real estate website, right? The purpose of a real estate website is to generate leads. And how do we do that in the industry? Well, for me, one of the biggest things, like I did 24 deals off my website in 2021. And I don't at this point spend very much on advertising. I had almost 50,000 people organically to my website, and our brokerage had over 150,000 people organically to our website. It didn't start out that way. it takes time to build that domain authority. But we've done that by making our website more interactive. So the average agent website gets less than 1.5 page views per visit, meaning people are landing on your homepage and they're leaving your website. My website gets almost 10 pages viewed per visit. So people are digging deeper, getting more interactive with my website. And that's the purpose of what we've built. So from a lead gen perspective, the Facebook Messenger tool plugged into your website, that's been one of the best ones for me, because people are so used to using it, going on the marketplaces, talking to people, interacting that way. And they're real people, right? They're logged into their account. You get to talk to them. If you don't get to them right away, you can get back to them later because it's their Facebook account. So that's one part of another part of the package we offer that for me has been, from a quality of lead standpoint, is probably the best tool that we've installed. The next step is we've also, I was talking about lead gen companies and why, what they do. It's a $60 billion industry last year. So all they do is they build you a third-party website using your DDF or IDX feed, local board. They charge it back to you. They spend X amount of dollars on advertising and charge you $500,000, $1,000 for management fees. And then they drive traffic there. They lock people out of listings, and then they give you their information, which is why the close percentage, if you're following up, is very low, 1% to 2%. If you're following up really well, maybe 3% to 5%, which, a lot of agents do a lot of business that way. For me, it's become, I've over time, I used to utilize that a lot to generate the leads, to generate traffic. And now that my website's grown, I'm going more of an organic route where it's more, a little higher quality leads. But if you just have a small budget and want to, I guess, just spend a little bit to try to generate leads, we've created that. So this is a landing page we created for Seller's Choice in Newfoundland for them to do pay-per-click advertising on Google. So what this has done is, let's say they want to look at St. John's, we're mimicking the exact same things that these companies are doing. By as soon as I click on that, it locks me out of the website. So if I want to see listings, I got to type in my phone number or my name, email, phone number, and you capture that. The cool thing is we were able to integrate it right into your CRM. So you're not having to log into a separate CRM. This is actually we've repurposed the form on the website to lead right into your Lead Voyager and your Engage. So it's all in one place. So this is all those companies do. The benefit for you having on your own website, you're only spending the money you want to spend on advertising, and you reap the long-term benefits, because with a third-party lead gen company, as soon as you stop paying, they turn off the website and you're done. With this, it's whenever you want to do an ad, you reap the long-term benefits because it's your website. So to me, this is really important. I think it saves agents a lot of money and generates those quality leads and helps them enhance their website. And if we go back to the Millennium site, a few of the really cool tools as an agent that I like we've done is, if you go mobile, so I'm going to shrink down my screen really, really small here. We've moved the hamburger menu to the right side of the screen. On your websites, it's over here, because 90% of people in Canada are right-handed, and you know how big our phones are nowadays. So we wanted to make it more user-friendly to the larger percent of the population. We've also coded it to hyperlink, could be your phone number if it's an agent website, but the office number, so someone doesn't have to search for a contact form on your website. They can, if they're on the phone, click the navigation, click the phone number, they're phoning you right away. So for me, it's been more of a, how do we drive people to make that call? How do we get them to reach out to me? How do we make it simple? And then, so we kept developing all of those different things. So here's a listing on your website. When you're on a desktop, you got this really nice call me, email me form. And on the StandardWorks MoxieWorks website, these three buttons don't exist. So if someone wants to call you, they're like, oh, I love this listing. but there's nothing that follows them up and down the screen. So if you go to your website, you don't have these 3 buttons. This is custom coded by our WordPress team. So it's like, man, I love this website, or I love this listing. They can phone you, they can email you. The next thing we did was we created a Century 21 mortgage calculator, branded mortgage calculator, that you click on that, it automatically puts in the listing price, interest rates, calculate it. And people love playing with those tools, but the thing that really misses the mark a lot of that is they don't have a call to action from there. So we created this quick, non-invasive pre-approval form. Yeah, I'm buying a home. I'm looking for a property. I have a down payment. I'm currently employed. Prefer to be contacted by email. Well, if we can't get a hold of you, what's your phone number? Now, the difference between this and a lot of the other things that people do is, as soon as they submit their name, we can set this up 2 ways. So it can go to you as an agent. You can decide, hey, I'm going to hand this off to a certain mortgage broker. Or if you have someone you really basically, exclusively deal with, we can have it set up so that you get the email with those answers, and your mortgage partner gets that email right away too, with those questions answered, their name, and that it came from your website. So they know to call that person, pre-approve them, and send them back to you. So that's to me is as an agent, I love that, because it puts the onus on my mortgage partner. If I'm getting enough traffic to my website to generate those leads, for them to say like, hey, I'm getting these leads, I should probably find him something to send him back, right? So it's not just getting leads as buyers, but I think, helping build that relationship with a broker or whoever you work with. And those are things that aren't inherent in most sites. And why we're trying to take the best learnings from these different lead gen websites, because this site can do anything. Like, this site can do anything you can dream of. If you have the right coder, it can be done. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, they made a really smart choice by going with a WordPress based website. As we add more things, there's, as we test more things are always tested on my website first. We make sure it works. I'm not just throwing you ideas frosting on a cake, it's all things that have been tried, tested in my business, in our local brokerage in Saskatoon. And like, the average agent in our office sells, about, 20 houses a year. We do a little more volume per agent. But our average sale price is the lowest in the country. So we got to make up for that as a province. So I think you don't need to go outside of what Century 21 offers as a tech stack. I think you utilize your website, and then, we have tutorials on how to utilize, back at you media and things like that better to drive traffic to your website. And I just think there's no reason to pay, $500 a month to RAW or these other different companies, when you can take that dollar value and invest it into, PPC advertising, Facebook advertising, or just save it and do it something else, mix up your business, like if you take some of that budget, if you want to do paper advertising, because I'm not going to sit here and say like, this is the be all end all your business. It's one of the pillars that's important to me. And I think, as we've seen in, through COVID, where, you can do open houses, all that kind of things like that. It's super important, but your sphere of influence, past clients, still number 1 and 2. To me, this is number 3, and moving forward, it's only going to grow. So I think that's what sets us apart. Is I'm not selling you something, telling you like, your business, this is going to be all your business. This is going to be an important part of your business as it grows. And I just think what Century 21 is offering and what we've built at Benchmetrics has given us the ability to pretty much do anything.
Yeah, and Ken, wonderful presentation, kind of rollout of what it is we're looking at here. I got to say, so Kevin and Jose, when they came on board as partners up in the Century 21 Millennium group up north, the both of them were like, hey, we need to start looking at systems that bring in leads for the agents. And actually, it's been aggravating how they just don't stop talking about that. This was really a brainchild of Kevin and Jose. We got to get the website working better. We know this works for us because they are real estate agents. They spend money on search engine. They're getting leads. We know it works, but we got to find a better way to get the whole company benefiting from this. So that was really the vision. Like they've been working on this for at least a couple of years now, and we've engaged with different platforms, and none of them really worked out. And we have spent money that didn't go anywhere. I'm embarrassed to say, but you got to try it. You got to try it sometimes. This one here, we probably spent the most amount of money. I'm not going to say the amount, but it was as soon as Kevin and I saw this, we were like, yes, this is the one. This is the one. And we did it. But the reason we spent the money, there's a lot of infrastructure, which Kent was describing. The brokerage has to do this part first in order for your agents to be able to benefit. So this is a product that we got behind first. This is a product that we already built first. There's a question, when does it launch? It's already launched on the brokerage side. That was the biggest hurdle to get through. Now we're starting the individual sites and starting to customize those for the agents. We've only got a couple that have just started with it. And so that's a process as well too. So I just want to kind of say that there is an investment for each agent. Can I talk numbers with them? Because that's all they're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, absolutely.
So just to be clear, I'm going to be completely transparent. What our price tag was, we spent $13,000. So that's the money we already spent on this. For the individual agents to actually get their own site and get it up and running like what we've done, it's $1,000. Okay, so you don't have to do this. You already have a great website. If you want to go in and manipulate and change your WordPress platform, guys, I was playing around with it. Kev was playing around. You can do it yourself. I can't do what they can do. And Kevin and I have been going to different people doing WordPress stuff for us. It's hodgepodge. It's amateur. These guys just got it done and then rolled out, and then there's support meetings, ongoing support meetings. It's like, oh my God, everything we ever need is right here. And to say that you don't need to spend that money on your website and do that, guys, we're in the business of generating revenue, of generating leads. It costs money to do stuff like that. So at $1,000, I'm confident, and Kevin is confident, and we're like, no, this is the biggest bang for your buck, and it is very affordable to an agent as well. So I just want to say, hey, can you show us back-end analytics? Because that's what Kevin and I were looking at. Is like, oh my gosh, like with the Where to Live. Remember Where to Live? Those of you who are, you could see where did that lead come from, or how many people came in through Facebook, how many people came in through Google, or whichever routine it was, and you're able to see where your marketing dollars, your activity brought great return. Can you show that, Ken?
Yeah. So this is where Benchmetrics started. So we're going to set up everybody with a dashboard. So what this has done, this is my agent dashboard. I have it set for March of 2022. So you can see, how many site sessions I had last month, how many average page views I had. Was it better than the previous month? It was down 7%. So what was I advertising? What was I doing? It really makes me think about what I'm investing. But it also puts context that no one else has. No other product has is, I had 8,600 people as an agent compared to the other 1,146 agents we currently have on it. I had more website traffic. Time on site, I wasn't the top. Okay, well, what I got to do to make that better? And this is just a quick overview that really simplifies Google Analytics. But then you can go in further. Like, okay, I had 2,700 people come from social media. Well, I did a couple of Facebook ads for neighborhoods last month, so I know they were successful. The fact that I got 2,700 people on the website organically, which is what this is the prize. This is the holy grail that you want, is organic traffic, because that's the free traffic. That's somebody going in saying like homes for sale in Brampton, and your website pops up. This is the quality of leads. This is the most important thing. This is the most important number you want to look at as you go on. And then things like referral traffic, meaning coming from other websites. And I'm like, only 49 people. That seems low, but now I can put it into context with Benchmetrics that's still higher than 99% of the agents on the platform. So it really helps me understand, where I rank in the industry. And being one of the top performers on the platform, I use this in my listing presentations. I show people that out of, this many agents across Canada, my agent website is one of the best, and it helps me get listings. It also tracks, like, are people coming to my homepage? Because everyone thinks you need to come to your homepage. That's not the end goal. The end goal is to have internal pages that rank on Google. And that's where the majority of my traffic comes from now. And that's, to me, something you really want to track. How long people are staying, like how many people are staying over a minute, how many overall users, and then Google Ads. I was running Google PPC campaign for myself, so I know that 691 people came to my website through a paid Google ad. So this is whether you corporate, Cinch Corporate is working on what they call God mode, meaning if you opt in as a brokerage and you're all like, yeah, we want in. Once that's ready at a corporate level, they'll be able to help us get this ready and get you all on this. I can get you on it now. We would just need access to each individual's agent's backend website. The brokerage website is on it. But as an agent, if you want to be on this, we can do that. And there's no cost to this. This is what we offer for free, whether you buy the agent upgrade or not, because we want to know, it holds us accountable too. Or if we can use any third-party website you're on. We can add that too. So you can see, I'm paying $500 a month, but I'm not in the top 80% of my industry. Why am I paying $500 a month? So, or you're hiring an SEO company, and you're not a top performer in social traffic driven to your website. Why am I paying them? So it's not just seeing where it comes from, but we can put it into context of, is the resources I'm spending worth the time spending them? So it's also an awesome tool for that. The goal is to have before the end of the year, have all 10,000 Century 21 Canada agents on it. So you'll get a better overview, and it's divided into, you can go realtors all over the world, realtors in Canada, realtors in Eastern Canada, realtors in your area. So it's all anonymous. No one gets to see who's number one, things like that. But it's the only product in the world that actually allows you to see how you perform within your industry. So,
well, we're all sold, Kent. We're all sold.
Now, do you see why Trevor and I freaked out when we met this guy? It was awesome.
And it did take time. I gotta say, I'm really happy Kevin and Jose work from, where were you? Guatemala?
Nicaragua.
Guatemala. I don't know where you were. I mean, but there they are on the beach, and honestly, Kevin, you didn't stop on this process. I was just like, yeah, I'm in. And then Kevin really worked with Ken a lot on rolling this out. So big thanks to Kevin taking the lead on this. And then just that website, guys, that Cinch 21 website with the horizontal, the vertical lines there. And like that was Kevin and Jose. I know Jose was like, no, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And she was playing around with the flow of it, which is important. In any business, the level and engagement that the leadership gets involved in the details and the weeds of the business really speaks to the quality of the company. And I think we got a great leadership team that does just that. There are going to be a lot of questions on this, guys. We're going to do follow-up with Ken. I'm going to record, this is being recorded. I'm going to post it at some point, but I will, in coordination with Kevin, because he hasn't done this with his office just yet. But we will put links and resources to Kent. I have a feeling, Kent, you're going to get flooded with orders and engagement. Bear with us because we're just trying to, Kent, coordinate. There is a series of courses you're doing that I think Kevin and I just want to coordinate on how we're doing that. Open to our agents on best practices. I think you have like a dozen or so courses that you do. As with sales, any business component you have, it's a process. It's not an event. It's not like you do your website and walk away, right, Ken? You've got to be working on it. There are best practices. There's always refinement there. So as Ken said, you get your sphere of influence, you get your social media, and this should really be your third. Some of you definitely do want to be driving this as your primary if that's something you want to do. So hey, Shazad, just you, buddy. Appreciate that. I don't have control over there. Ken, I gave it to you, so
Oh.
there it is. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cool. Kent, anything else you want to say?
Well, I just see in the chat someone asking if it's a one-time fee, and yes, it is. It's a one-time fee because me as an agent, you start to see that most of these companies do everything up front, and then they charge you a maintenance fee, $200 a month, and that's just money in their pocket, right? Like, so for me, it's, the platform's monitored by corporate. Anything that's proprietary to MoxieWorks, they do the updates on. We do offer support. Anything goes down for anything we've done, there's no cost to that support. So yeah, one-time fee. You get to choose. We have a very detailed intake form, and you get to kind of customize it to what kind of real estate you sell and where you work.
The other question I see Stephan asked is, where is the data being pulled from? Is it realtor.ca? Is it our brokerage? That's a complicated question, but not really. It's all the data that has agreed to go onto the platforms, IDX. They all are giving permission for us to pull that data. So if your client is looking at a listing at Remax, we have the agreements and we're pulling that into our websites. That was done through head office years ago. And most websites have that feature. On the question of, I thought the question actually was sold data, but that's not the question. On sold data for Toronto Real Estate Board, Kent, when do you expect us to start seeing that, brother?
Well, that's in corporate's hands right now. I'm really excited for that because we don't have it here either. I think that's going to be awesome, and there's no 100% timeline on when that's going to happen, but I expect not too long because I know it's a huge demand to get that going.
Yeah,
I bug them.
Sorry, Kev, go ahead.
I bug them every week. That's my next focus now that I've been hammering away at them. And so, we're getting a lot of traction in regards to that. But the other thing too, that Kent and I worked on for our corporate site, when they display featured listings, most websites have random other ones on there, but only Century 21 Millennium listings will be the featured listings. But then as soon as they go in the back end and say, okay, I want to look in Brampton, and they pop up the map, then all actives will come. And as soon as we can get the client interface working correctly with MoxieWorks and corporate, then you'll be able to pull that sold data, and that'll also appear in there. So currently we have an IDX feed that's operating. So if somebody does a neighborhood search, you're going to see all listings that are on realtor.ca. But on the front page, when they're scrolling, they won't run in and see a Remax or Royal LePage sitting on our feature listings. It's only yours. So for your clients, when they go on there and look at their page, they're not seeing other brokerages. So I thought that was important, and we made that change. So
yeah, that's beautiful. And I will say, guys, as Ken kind of preface, is this the be all and end all? No, it's not. But it's the platform, and it's like saying which is the best CRM. It's like, oh my God, you can't get the best CRM. But as far as what the Century 21 platform has, it's pretty freaking good. Like, it's top notch, and I think this Kent's business and platform really was the missing link for us to really get behind it. Now, we're not passively behind it. We invested in it, and we're going to continue to invest in it. You will never have a perfect software experience. There is no perfection in this world. It is just, we are always trying to push the ball forward. So just because we don't have this feature on our website, just because we don't have that feature on our website, guys, we got the majority of what we need, and we're going to continue pushing it forward. And I'm really grateful, Ken, for your vision within the team there. And you're just in such a unique spot, being a top performer yourself. And being engaged with this. So I really appreciate it. Kev appreciates it. We all do. So thanks, brother.